Welcome to this episode. I really hope that your riding has been a lot better than mine over the last sort of month, 6 weeks or so. It's been quite a bit of time since I did the last episode. I spent a lot of December sick and missed out on a lot of my kind of planned opportunities to get out riding. I did manage to get out and do some sort of 70, 80k rides, nothing of any real sort of consequence distance-wise. I also had an abandoned 100k DIY that was down to like my own stupidity, frankly. But I've written that one up on the blog, so you can check that one out there if you're interested. Additionally, for anybody who watched episode 4, the episode where I did a couple of back-to-back DIYs to go and visit my nan, you may well remember that I talked about her ill health during that, and sadly she actually died early January. So yeah, it's really not been that great a time for me, and you know what, I actually feel like I'm getting sick again now, and I'm meant to be at Dr. Foster's winter warmers coming up very soon, and I suspect I'm going to miss out on that as well. So yeah, it's not been a great riding time, but hopefully February will bring some better luck. Anyway, it's still January now. I'm aware it's been quite a while since I've done an update on any of the goals. I'm no further forward on the SR series, which isn't really a surprise. I kind of knew that was going to be the case probably until the summer. In terms of RITY, I'm 7 consecutive months now, so that's progressing along nicely. I've also started the AAA version of RITY, and I'm at 2 months on that, so we're just sort of getting going on that. In terms of R5000, I'm at 1,719 kilometres, I believe it is at the minute, which is quite a big step on from the last time I reported back on that. But unfortunately, this was probably the goal that suffered most over the kind of Christmas and New Year period for my lack of riding. I'm hoping though that there'll be a sort of a positive split, if you will, for the second half of the season in the summer months, where I can hopefully get that done. Lastly, for this ride that you're just about to see now, I started using the chest mount for the GoPro. I think it's something I'm going to carry on using a lot in future. There's a whole number of reasons why it's actually really convenient for me to use that, but maybe I'll cover that in a later video. The other thing as well is I've got a windshield now for the GoPro, and that's actually made a huge difference. And actually the fact that there's still quite a lot of wind noise on this ride should really speak to just how incredibly windy it was that day. Route started in Birmingham, leaving Kings Heath and heading pretty much 50k straight south to Mickleden. I then weaved around the Cotswolds for a little while, passing through Winchcombe twice, then north into Chipping Candom, leaving the Cotswolds via Ilmington, and then doing roughly another 50k home straight back to Birmingham.
Alright, so morning all. I'm doing a 210k DIY today. As you can probably hear, it's super windy. Headwind's been pretty bad so far. Supposedly 20 to 30 kilometers an hour with up to 60k gusts, which yeah, if that ends up turning out, could be quite challenging. It's pretty much going to be a headwind for the first half, so hopefully I'm going to get blown all the way home. So at least there's that. So my route today is about 50k straight south to the Cotswolds, at which point I'm then going to do about 100k loop of the Cotswolds, which is a route called the Magnificent Seven of Gloucestershire, which was kindly shared with me by Ugo via the Audax UK Facebook page. So thank you very much for that, fella. as the name suggests, there's 7 reasonably challenging Cotswolds climbs. Then once that's done, another 50k home back to Birmingham. The route is a AAA route. It's worth 2.75 points. So a reasonable amount of climbing, not huge. Going to really have to see how the wind affects me today to see really how challenging that's going to be. Giraffe. So I'm just outside Mickleden, which sort of signifies the northern point of the Cotswolds. Really not that far now from getting into the first proper climbs. You can probably see the hills there in the distance. This first 50k has been a bit slow, but given the conditions, it's not been too bad. Can you spot what's missing from this picture? Yeah, that's right. I forgot my water bottles. Now, come on, it's not nice to laugh at someone else's misfortune, is it? Okay, so this is the first of the 7 reasonable climbs that I got to do today. This is Larkstoke Hill. I did this one back in the summer actually. I think it's probably the only one of the hills today that I've already done. But there we go, it's the first one done. Not going to pretend like it was easy, but yeah, it wasn't so bad. Just going up Dover's Hill, which is our second climb of the day. Haven't done this one before, not sure what to expect. Just hope it's not too much of a stinker. Felt that one towards the end. I'm totally cheated as well. There's absolutely no view from the top of this one whatsoever. Stitched up, huh? Oh, ginsters, nice for later. What we got? I've become pretty partial to a nut bar of late. Let's see what this one's like. It's pretty good. You can really taste the orange. I guess this is where the view is. So just coming through the village of Willersea. More beautiful classic Cotswold sandstone. This means I'm not far from Willersea Hill. So I'm into the climb proper now. One thing I'm trying to do on these climbs today, because I'm riding with a heart rate monitor, is be careful about trying to keep heart rate under control. Try and be as consistent as possible from top to bottom, and just try and conserve as much energy as I can. And these steep little insides of bends don't help. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure ramps like that aren't going to help either. Okay, so I made it to the top of that one. That was steep for about 2/3. Last third wasn't so bad though. Get a bit of a rest actually while still getting up the hill. Turned a bit grey. Looks like it's raining over there. I was kind of expecting some rain today, but I was hoping to be 20k up the road before I came, but oh well, it is what it is. So I'm just at the bottom of the 4th climb for today. This is Snow Hill. Well, that's the 4th climb done, which means I get a little reward, and of course as a cycling the only rewards that mean anything are food. So it's time for the chicken. So it's time for the chicken and bacon sliced ginsters. Man, I've been looking forward to this. That's good. Just after I'd eaten that pasty, I came out of the shelter of that little hollow there, and yeah, it got seriously cold really quickly. Ended up getting like all my layers on, getting my buff back on, swapping gloves. It was yeah, super windy up there. Actually the wind's really picked up again now. It's gusting quite badly. Kind of wobbling all over the road, even riding two-handed. So I'm about halfway up. This is Salters Lane, which is the 5th climb of the day. Oh, I'm generally wondering at this point if I've bitten off more than I can chew attempting this route in this weather today. Every bit of respite you should get between the hills isn't, because of the headwinds, so making it pretty tough. I guess overall I got plenty of time, so I suppose I just need to take it steady, and I guess it should be okay. I'm just at the bottom of Bushcombe Lane. This is climb 6 for the day. Almost certainly the hardest climb of the day as well. Fully expecting this one to break me, if I'm honest. If I can get this one done, that means I've only got a descent down into Winchcombe for my planned lunch stop, where I can hopefully kind of regroup a little bit. There you go, 25% this one. Yeah, there's a good chance I might be walking a couple of bits of this, I think. Well, this is almost the top of Bushcombe Lane. Oh man, that's a steep climb. I ended up having to walk a couple of bits there. I just stopped for a nice lunch in Winchcombe at the Corner Cupboard pub. Very nice little pub there. Would totally recommend going in there. But I don't know how this this hill now is going to go after kind of 40-minute break and a full stomach, but we'll see how that goes. This is actually the 7th climb of the day. I can't remember what this one's called, but I think it goes up to Sudley Castle. This is the last big one. So yeah, hopefully after this it will be a much easier way home. 95 kilometers left. Alright, so that's the last big one done. Extremely happy to be able to say that. I mean, it's not like the work's entirely done, of course. There's still another couple of little short ones to do, but yeah, whatever. And I've got about 90 kilometers left, but I think from this point I'm pretty much heading north again, which hopefully means that it will be a tailwind now, as long as the wind hasn't moved. So actually I should have been in Wales this weekend at the Dam Busters Bare Bones Bike Packing winter event. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? But unfortunately, due to circumstance, shall we say, it all got a bit complicated, and so I didn't end up going. I was really looking forward to seeing a whole bunch of people that I hadn't seen for quite a long time, quite a few years. Was really looking forward to catching up. But well, yeah, not just that either. Actually, I was really looking forward to riding my mountain bike, getting out into mid Wales for a couple of days. Bivvying, might have been a bothy this time, don't know, but yeah, disappointing. Anyway, hopefully maybe February or March I can start getting a few more bivvies in. Maybe not even some off-road ones, might try and do some on-road kind of bike packing and bivvying, but yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes. So just heading through Chipping Camden right now. Another chocolate box, Cotswolds town. So about 7k from home now. Probably do this bit on autopilot, which is kind of handy considering how tired I am. That's been a really tough ride today. I'll go through a proper post-mortem on that maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, once I've had a chance to have a little reflect on it. For now, I'm going to say goodbye from the road and crack on home. See ya.
So that was easily the hardest 200 that I've ever done. It was a really tough ride over the course of the day. I think even in comparison to something like the Kidderminster Killer that actually had more climbing, this was a lot more difficult. So what was the reason for that? Well, I think there was a few things. The climbs around the Cotswolds are really steep. For the ratio of gears that I had on that bike, it meant that I couldn't kind of maintain my a comfortable cadence, so I was having to work a lot harder at a lot of the sections, and just kind of the attritional nature of that over all of those climbs just like completely done me. Another thing about it as well, I think, was the density of those climbs. So those 7 big climbs came between about 50k and about 120k. On average, that was a reasonable climb every 10k or so. which really didn't allow for a huge amount of rest or recovery in between. So I think that kind of really built up as well. I mean, you might compare that to, say, something again like the Kidderminster Killer, whilst it had, I think, almost 1,000 metres more climbing, that was spread out over the entire sort of, not quite 200k, but spread out over the whole ride. The third thing that I think was really tough that day was the headwinds. Particularly the first 100k was pretty much all into headwind, and yeah, I mean, even sort of 20k an hour was effort that day. So yeah, I think that really didn't help. I mean, particularly as well, once you were getting near the tops of a lot of those climbs, the wind would sort of seem to be sort of sticking to the hillside as it come up over the top of the ridges and what have you. So even whilst you were going uphill, there were times when the wind would start gusting again, and yeah, just want to push you straight back down. So yeah, that became pretty challenging. The sixth climb, Bushcombe Lane, wow, that's a tough one, right? 25% in places. I was actually reduced to the indignity of actually walking a few of those sections. So yeah, I'm feeling like I've got unfinished business with this route for sure. I'm planning to try and get it done again, I think in something like March, and seeing where I'm at by then. Hopefully I might be a little bit fitter. Hopefully the conditions on the day might be a little bit easier, and we'll see how it goes.